What to eat when you first get started with a new nutrition routine. Welcome back to FitStart TV. My name's Craig Williams. Now, do you ever feel like you're drowning in diet advice? Are you unsure where to start, what you should and shouldn't be eating? What if I told you that starting a new nutrition plan is more about what you're not eating than what you actually are eating? Okay, so in today's video, I really do want to take you from perhaps clueless about nutrition to confident in your food choices. I want to shift you from being indulgent and careless eating to mindful and intentional eating. And I want to help you navigate the feeling of being overwhelmed during a diet, all the way to being in control of your nutrition. Okay, so as always, I'm going to give you like a model for kind of understanding what it takes, to understanding more about this actual topic. And the model today is the TRACK model. Okay, so as always, the first letter stands for something. First of all, the T, take inventory. So whenever you get started, the first thing you've got to do is take inventory. So I was coaching someone recently and they were sort of saying, right, I'm getting ready for a wedding. What do I need to do? Tell me what I need to do. I'll do anything. I'll eat anything. What do you want to do? And people have these ideas of, right, if you drink this stinking smoothie, with this crushed bloody testicle of an Afghan yak and all, this horrible thing, drink that, and that's going to solve all your problems. It's like we concentrate on what we do, and sometimes the more horrible it is, the more effect we think it's going to have. We think, oh, this has got to be good because it's absolutely disgusting, and actually when you first get started, it's more about what you're cutting out. It's more about what you're no longer doing. So that's what I'm going to kind of talk about today. Now, when you start to track what you're actually taking in, when you're tracking, or you take stock of what's actually going on, and all you need to do is like go into your kitchen, open your fridge, open your cupboards. What is there? This is the reality. You're surrounded by the foods that you're consuming. Look in your bin. What wrappers are in there? Go out and look in your dustbin. Open your dustbin and see what's in there. This is the reality of your nutrition right now. And I'm pretty sure if you start to sift through all that kind of stuff, you'd have and put a pile of stuff that you really, shouldn't be eating. If you're looking to lose weight, get leaner, sort out your health, okay, and stuff that perhaps, you should be eating, you'll see that there'll be a massive pile of crap that you shouldn't just not be eating. If you think about it, like apples don't come in much packaging. A frozen pizza or a Indian meal for two has got loads of packaging, and we can see the difference there. So take stock of what is the actual reality of what's going on, okay? And that's going to give you so much information. And be honest, there is no change without honesty. Okay, so completely be honest. It's a mega interesting exercise. The R then is remove the obvious unhealthy choices. Nobody watching this video is an idiot. Okay, we know what is unhealthy. We can sort of say to people, okay, we've got Coca-Cola, we've got water. Which one should we cut out? And you might go, I mean, I love Coca-Cola. You might not want to, but it's very obvious what needs to go, so start with those real obvious things. Just get rid of them, like we said, okay, because that is the big start. Remember, if you're not consuming them, you don't have to offset them with exercise. You don't have to, get rid of those extra calories in the future because you just never ate them, and it's the best way, to help reduce your weight. A is adjust gradually. So, quite often we sort of think, right, I'll launch into it. I'm going to eat like a monk, from here on in, and 3, 2, 1, go. And it's too much. You're trying to change too much too soon, especially if you've got family or you've got people that live with you and you eat meals communally. All right, for you to change massively, it's too much for everybody. It's affecting everybody, and eventually it'll break and it just won't go back. So just gradual changes is the way to do it. Okay, it's much more sustainable. And you might be one of those people who go, oh no, I've either all or nothing. That's great, but if you're watching this video, you're currently nothing, all right? Which, that's no good. It's far better to be kind of like just mediocre, just pushing on and constantly getting, results, no matter big or small or whatever, than you do it for 6 weeks and you don't do it again for 12 months, all right? So, stick with it, adjust gradually. C is check your progress, okay? So if you imagine, you know, we need to kind of measure where we are at the start of the week. We run our week, making our little adjustments, ditching the stuff that's obviously unhealthy, measure ourselves at the end of the week and keep going and keep tracking it, because whatever we measure, we can improve, okay? So it's really important that you check your progress and you make a note of it so that you can revert back to it, okay? Now, nothing is more motivating than progress itself. And you will miss that progress unless you're tracking it in different ways, whether it's measurements around your body, whether it's your weight, whether it's, you know, full body naked images to track your progress, body scans, you know, the emotional well-being diaries and questionnaires, whatever it is, okay, there's so many different ways, and we'll talk about different ways of tracking your progress in the future. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel to make sure you get any future videos. And then K is to keep it sustainable, you know, and this is really important because so many times I've seen people, bang, go off like an absolute rabbit, straight out, you know, so much work, changing everything, and a ball of flames for 2 or 3 weeks, and they drop off and it's just not sustainable. Okay, so it's really important that you're thinking long term. Remember, those little habits done over time really compound and get you some incredible results, okay? So remember that. And so we're going to talk about how we kind of implement this in your own life now, and the best way that I can kind of describe this is, imagine you've got a real cluttered room, all right? And you want to, you know, you want to bring in some nice new furniture and redecorate and all this kind of stuff. Now, at first, you can't do it because all the old crappy broken chair, the stained sofa, you know, the old crappy wallpaper, the naff pictures, you know, they're all still there. You need to kind of slowly remove these bit by bit. And once all that's done, you're left with a bit of a blank canvas. Now you can start bringing some new stuff in. And it's very much like that with your health and fitness. You know, you need to get some of the old stuff out so that you can then start to bring in some new, renewed habits, you know. And the way I describe it is not a switch where you're like, ding, okay, that's it now. Oh, your living room's amazing. It's a dial where every day you're just doing something a little bit more. And so, you know, over time it improves and end up with an amazing space. So remember that when you're starting to implement these strategies. So the reason why focusing on the nutrition is important, because it really is the backbone of any new health, fitness, weight loss regime. Okay, the nutrition is the key thing. All right, so that's why it's important that you focus on this and, you know, and dedicate some time to implement the stuff that we're talking about today. The other thing is that what you eat directly impacts your energy levels, your mood, the way you sleep, what you eat the next day, all these kind of things. And again, if you nail that, it really is a keystone habit where you feel much better for the rest of the day. You sleep better in time, you know, it's just an absolute keystone to some great results. And then the reason why we kind of do this bit by bit approach and cut things out before we start to reintroduce stuff is, you know, it sets you up really well for the future. You know, in the future, there's a transition where it no longer becomes about, it's no longer about what you're cutting out and no longer doing. Now it's about what you are doing, what you are eating, because you're not trying to offset the ill effects of naff eating. Now you're starting to promote health. You know, you've got a good baseline, you've cut all that crap out, you've reversed the ill effects of all that, and now we're starting to kick on. And, you know, so you might add supplements, you might have, you know, a need for leaner protein or, you know, more calcium or something like that when we start to add stuff. But this comes later in the game. But by doing what we're talking about today, you can set yourself a real good solid foundation. Okay, so a couple of ways you can get started then. You can choose any one of these and do it today because it's really important. Begin a 7-day food diary. Just get it going. All right, start today, start tracking everything and be honest, because remember, without honesty, there is no change. Okay, just stick it down. Keep it to yourself if you need to. If you want, you can download an app that'll help with this. There's a load out there, you know, I will recommend some in the future, so make sure you've subscribed, okay? But get that food diary going and be completely honest, you know, and make sure you capture everything, including the qualities. Don't just put glass of juice, you know, try and get the quality, the amount down, even if it's like pint of juice or, you know, 500 mils of juice or whatever it is, okay? So get the quantities down there as well. Identify and eliminate junk food straight away, really obvious stuff. Okay, you know what you shouldn't be eating if you're looking to kickstart something new. You know, you might think you can kid yourself and all this kind of stuff, but your image takes stock. You know, your image is always kind of paying attention, and what you are eating and all that kind of stuff, it's there, it shows. So, you know, get going now and cut out the real obvious stuff, especially the junk and highly processed foods. I'm going to talk about that loads in the future. Try and introduce one healthy new meal a week. That's a great way to kind of get going. You know, cut out the crap, and then as you're moving forward, one new healthy menu every week, and that's a great way, you know, to adjust over time for you, your family, the people you live with, and all that kind of stuff. If you can do more, but aim for one. All right. Also, a good little thing is you can share what your healthy meal is for this week in the comments below. That way other people can have a look down, get some ideas, and maybe you're helping other people at the same time as well. Next thing is, you know, just start keeping a bit of a track about your mood and your energy levels. Now, in the future, I'm going to share with you a little process that I do every morning where I kind of take stock of my mood and my energy levels. It's a real easy thing to do, and it kind of dictates how I train that day, you know, what I expect from that day. All right, it's a dead easy thing to do. So, you know, just start tracking that, whether it's in a diary, little notebook or whatever, but that's a dead easy way to help you get going. And then as time goes on, make sure you're looking back and you're checking your progress every month, okay? Just to see how you're doing. Again, remember, there's nothing more motivating than progress itself. If you don't track it, if you don't review it, you'll miss it. So you lose that ability to motivate yourself. Okay, so what to do next directly after this video? You can go head off, download the tracking app, all right? Just go and do it now. Food, MyFitnessPal, there's a load of different ones out there that you can do, and many smartphones and smart watches have these things already built in. So just go and do it, and to get it set up and get ready, and you can start first thing in the morning. Make sure you truly commit to logging your meals, okay? The quantities as well as what's in there, all right? You know, just get it down and just get into the habit of tracking it, because if you track it, you suddenly see where the problems are, and you can start cutting those, you can start sorting those problems out. One for one, okay? Think about taking out an unhealthy meal, adding it with replacing it with a healthy meal, one a week. You know, within 7 weeks, you'll have a week worth of healthy food, and you'll cut out a week's worth of unhealthy food. So it's a great way to kind of meet in the middle and just clean out your eating, okay, bit by bit. So you can do that. You start planning that straight away as well. Make sure you share your progress. I have talked about setting up a little accountability community from this channel. If it's something that you might be interested in, let me know in the comments, okay, or send me a message. I'll get that going. I'll kick my ass into gear, and we can start helping each other, because I need help sometimes too. And then finally, remember that it is a journey. You know, remember that what we're talking about here is not quick fixes. You can go to any other channel on YouTube and learn about quick fixes. You know, stick half ounce of turmeric in your tea every day and you'll drop 10 pounds in a minute, you know, and we're not talking about that. This is about sustainably kickstarting something new, and then, you know, in a year's time you're going to be completely different. You are in charge of your destiny, so, you know, make sure that we're aiming for progress over perfection. Okay, fine. My final thoughts, and it's not about deprivation, okay? It's not about like feeling like you're missing out and all this kind of stuff. It's about understanding what information and fuel the food you're eating is giving you, okay? Once you start to get that, you know, you start seeing some progress, it's much more likely that you're going to carry it on. Now, you probably, if you're watching this video, you'd like to know like what the most common questions are when other people want to kickstart something new. And I talk about that in this video here.